If I didn't lay down this compendium of perspective, teaching, logic, not just in the charts, but how you're supposed to think, my fear is that my children will never arrive at what I know they can be. I have what I am is I'm enigma. I am it. I'm the algorithm. I am it. When you look at price, you're looking at me. And that one cut deep, didn't it? My fear is that none of my kids will fully apply themselves to be more than I am. That's my fear. That I have been given this. I've had the luxuries and the pleasures of living off of it, employing it, being the author and face of it all. But that's it. None of my children will do anything with it. That's the only fear I have as it relates to trading. And if they never do, well, I mean, it doesn't change how I live, but it is a regretful thing for me because I pour myself into these lectures. Because again, I'm picturing them at their job, but you think I'm picturing you at your job. I'm picturing them looking at how expensive things are. And even though dad helps them out here and there and buys a couple things extra for their pantry to get them through for the week of the month, I'm wanting them to feel that discomfort. Sure, they can trust dad ain't gonna let them go hungry, but I'm letting them feel that discomfort. What if the day comes when dad's not here? That's what I want them to think. I want them to think, I have all of the advantages right now that all of you would love to have time with me. You would love to be able to sit down with me and just pick my brain and say, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? And just really just deep, deep dive into whatever you can ask of me. And these are my own children. Do you know not one of my kids ever do that? Now, I'll get texts all the time. Dad, what's it mean when the Bible says this? Or they'll send me a video. Is this person right about this and that? Which I'm thankful for. I mean, and really, in terms of priority, I think that's the best. I mean, my opinion about the word is better than what I think about trading. That's first. They're seeking the kingdom first, and then everything else will be added unto them. But as a dad, as daddy ICT, in the truest form, it's my children I'm speaking to, and all of this work has been laid down for them to be able to tap into all the time. But my fear is I won't ever see them be who I know they can be. Way better than me. Way better. Because they didn't fall victim to the problems that I put myself through. And they have all the advantages of being my children, and I'm not going to hold back anything from them. Ask yourself why they don't take advantage of it, because I tried to figure it out myself. I don't know. I like to believe because they're four boys. Each of them have been wanting it for free, where no work has been given to them. They all have had this look in their eye, like they know that dad's just going to break off millions and millions of dollars, and just here it is. You don't have to work, you don't have to do anything. And I told them. And my oldest told me I was a piece of shit dad, and I'm the worst dad in the world. When I first told him I wasn't just going to lay it in his hands like that, because I saw the efforts of me doing things like that younger, and he went a different direction. He now doesn't think that way, and he's appreciative of it. And he actually does really good in his own efforts. He's not super rich, but he's successful at what he does, and he loves what he's doing. So he has a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit. He wants me to give him signals. I'm not going to do that. Sorry, Cody, you're going to have to do real work. But all of them had, even my daughter, she's like, do we have a will set up? So just like a woman, right? Going after the money. I know, ladies, that was just a joke. Don't come at me. But they all have this expectation that dad's just going to leave this for them. And I have been spending my entire life laying down breadcrumbs. And maybe it won't be my kids. Maybe it'll be one of my grandkids that may or may not be ever known by me. So if you're listening to this in the future, you know, Pop will be, proud to see it. But that's the only fear I have. I don't have any other fear. Not related to the markets or trading or the perceptions of others. Now, I could very easily, And I have honestly entertained this idea a few times with Caleb and Cameron. I was like, look, um, I could have a lot of fun with this, and you could make a lot of money if you step out there, okay? I'm sitting next to you, you're doing what I'm doing, but you're going to call it like you're doing it. Let me tell you something. A lot of you smart motherfuckers would have figured it out right away if I did that. It's just dad doing it. But you won't want to say it because then it proves that I know what I'm talking about. So it kind of cancels the whole argument against ICT because his son now doing it. He's doing what ICT wouldn't do. So he's better. He's given the stop loss and the target and everything. And all of you would flock to his channel or whatever service he would be offering, whatever the fuck would happen. You all would pour in your attention there and blow smoke up his ass and build a pedestal to place him on, and he'd be a fucking hero. And I'd say, look, see how easy it is? And I could entice them to do that. And both of those boys were willing to do it. So what did that teach dad? They want the shortcut. And that broke my heart because I wanted them to say, no, dad, I want to do this on my own. I don't want you doing it for me behind the scenes because I could do that for them just like that and give them a false image if I was a con artist, if I was a piece of shit. And you'd all believe it. You would all believe that that was them doing all that stuff. No, well, I guess not all of you. Some of you would realize that, okay, this guy really knows what he's doing. I was wrong, but I'm going to have to call bullshit on it and say it's Michael doing the trading. I had to fix Cameron when he did his Top Step stuff just to get his money out of it. And I told him, I said, I'm not getting you profits. I'm just getting your money out. And I told him what to do, and he got out of it. That's the only reason why you saw his name on the leaderboard up there. It was me fixing it for him because he was trying to do straight shortcuts, not doing it the right way, not wanting to learn. He wanted dad to do it. If that's all there was, I could just simply say, hey, here, look, let me put an account together, set up a family management company, LLC, and the profits that come from the trading, all of you draw a salary from, and you don't have to have a job. That's easy. And all of you can do that too once you learn how to do this. You can set it up for your children. If you decide to do that, if you don't think about it the same way I think about it, you'll be like, I don't give a shit to my kids. I'm going to give them everything they want. Treat them like Kardashians. Sure, you can do that. Let them draw a salary from it. It's called a family management LLC. Talk to your accountants. They'll help you with that if they know what they're talking about. And you can set that up through your trading. You can run a trading account as an LLC that they draw a salary from. So some other opportunities right there too. But you sell yourself short because you think the short-term adversities right now, not realizing what is laid in front of you as opportunities. What happens? What happens if you never really get good at trading? You're marginally profitable, but you are a welcomed spirit for live streaming, and you only make your money from affiliate marketing. Is that bad? No. I don't have a problem with that. There's a lot of people that have yet to really prove themselves as good traders, but they have a very encouraging spirit. Very encouraging, fun to be around. It's like the guy you go hang out with at the bar. You see him all the time. He's friendly. He never gives you any bullshit. It's just fun to talk to. You don't expect a guy to make $1 million a year. You don't expect him to smoke up your ass. You just know he's a good person to talk to, and you feel good hanging out. You don't feel like you're being talked down to, and you don't feel like you're not good enough. There's a lot of personalities in the world right now that are live streamers that way right now, and they just get by on that basis alone. And some of these people I like. I think they're generally nice people. Are they superstars in trading? No. Do they claim to be superstars in trading? No. So they stay in their lane. So it doesn't bring any kind of real drama to them. But what happens? What happens if you find yourself in this and you fix all of the core tenets that make you a terrible fucking person? Because all of us have those traits. I don't give a shit what you say. We all fallen short. We all mess up. We all have character flaws. It doesn't matter how good you are at hiding them or pretending they don't exist. We all have them. But what happens if you use this as a medium to fix all that? And then all these opportunities open up to you where you, hey, look, you don't think you have the personality to be a podcaster. You don't think you have the personality to be a live streamer. You don't think you have the potential to be a teacher or a mentor that can prove they can do it. So therefore they have the authority to be teaching at all. The doors open up, the floodgates open up, and the money can come flowing in like you've never imagined. And when you find big income coming in like that, you know what that does? It frees you up to not worry about what? Your trade's panning out profitably. So then what does it do? What does it do? It gives you objectivity that you'd never had before because you don't have the fear of your trades failing on the basis of defining your success. That's the reason why I tell my students to do these types of things if you're comfortable doing it. Because what it'll unlock in you is a level of confidence. I'll tap into Patrick Wheeling once more. I've said these things publicly, and I've also said them in private. I don't talk to him in email anymore since he sent me the picture of those balls. I've blocked his email address. I don't want to ever see anything like that ever again. But the point is this. I've said openly that if he makes certain changes and he pursues this direction or that direction and uses these types of things, it will help him be a better trader. And you have watched him find himself. He wasn't trading as well as you see him doing a couple years ago. That's a progress. And I love the fact that he comes out and sometimes and says, look, I mean, I messed it up. I messed it up. And he makes no excuses and just says, it was my mistake. I own it. And it is what it is. And some of you assholes love to throw gasoline on the fire. And I see him take it to heart. It bothers him. That's a weakness. But that's a weakness that can be capitalized on because that doesn't go away. That doesn't matter how much money you make, that stuff doesn't go away. He has a deep-rooted desire to prove something. Not to us, not to him. There's somebody in his head that he's proving every single day. He's doing this something that he's doing every day, this pursuit of success, the amount of money he makes, what he can buy, what he's able to do, who he's with, how long he's having sex, and how many times a day he's having sex. All these things are to prove something to some particular person in his head. We may never know who that is, but he knows what I'm saying right now, I'm nailing it. I'm over the target right now. But he's doing all the right things except for spending his money like he is. That's the only thing I would change, Pat. I mean, that right there, that shouldn't happen yet. You've all right now, he should dial. If he was smart, and I'm not saying he is or isn't, I'm just saying if he's smart, what he would do right now would be change character 180 degrees and say, you know what? I'm not going to flash anything in front of you anymore. I'm going to make it all about the trading. And I promise he would go light years faster and beyond what he's doing right now. He makes a lot of money in affiliate, and he's openly shared that. But what I think he's recently tapped into, the truth of it, is because he makes that kind of money outside of his trades, he can afford to just be wrong. Because let's just say he goes out there and he blows all of his accounts. This is for anyone, okay, that's in the influencer role. All of you know, because you've had payouts, you've proven you received, payouts in these companies that you trade through. You have that to fall back on. And people can say, well, even if you blow out, you can do it because you did it before. So it kind of gives you a reassurance that no one can really roast you on the public because you've proven you've made money. It doesn't matter if you blow an account, okay? When you make a lot of money outside of trading, it gives you that second level of confidence that you don't really feel as a job employee holder. I said that backwards. An employee or a job holder, someone that goes to a 9 to 5, that's not the same level of I don't give a fuck with the outcome. That's like when I lose the money, I'm still stuck working with Carl, and that's self-defeating. Whereas if you lose your accounts and you blow your account in trading, but you have a nice income coming from affiliate marketing, a broker arrangement, or whatever it is. You're repping some kind of a TradeZella. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just know there's things out there that people use and market, and I don't have a problem with it. If it's a good service, then well, it is what it is. But that type of thing, I encourage that because you're always in the beginning, you're going to be fearful of the outcome of the trade. And what if I don't make money trading? What happens if you follow these instructions and these advices that I'm giving you and you dabble with live streaming and you get an audience that loves to be around you? They don't expect you to burn down the house every day and make lots and lots of money. You're just fun to be around. You encourage them. You feel like you're one of them because you're doing the same thing. You're finding your way through it. See, that's the part that I love about Patrick because he was doing that in front of all of you, and he still is. He's still finding himself. He throws it at the audience for you to hate him, but then he also gives you those things that you can just look at and say, you know what, he earned that. He earned. You can say what the fuck you want to say, but he earned that there. His presentation needs to be refined a little bit, but he has enough character in him that he's a one man show. He doesn't need all the other stuff he's got going on. I think he's actually spending too much money uselessly. The whole BDH thing, he can put a whole lot of money into that, and I don't think it's going to yield what he wants it to do. He's having fun with it, but I don't think it's going to yield anything beyond his personal. I enjoy doing this part of it, having people come down here, and that's great. But if he streamlined what he's spending and then changed gears and went right to now, I'm just going to be the trader because this is what I took this much money from the prop firms. I did this, this, this. If he focuses and he does what he intends to do is try to make the single most largest payout on one account, that would be awesome. I want to see him do it. I've never spoke down to him. I've never speak down to any of you. And I always encourage all of you, even the people that don't like me. I love seeing that. I love seeing that. Who doesn't like to fucking see? You're a dick. You're an asshole if you don't like to see other people succeed. And you're a miserable piece of shit. I love seeing it. And I think because he has that crutch, and I don't mean that as a bad way, it's a wonderful thing to have. Multiple streams of income many times are the secret weapon to why certain traders are so good because they're not afraid of losing anymore. And not everybody has those opportunities in the beginning. Like, well, here's a perfect example. Tanya, she was on Kit's roundups. And if you go back and listen to how she spoke then, she would have sometimes a shaky voice. You could hear she wasn't confident as much as she is today on how she was speaking about herself or what she was trying to learn how to do. And when she would admit that it was hard and she was going through some stuff, just like all of us. And then you look at her today, and she's still finding herself, but she's out there. You could see her when she did her face reveal. I was like, what the hell? That's my daughter. And for the people that think that that's my daughter, she's not biologically my daughter, but she reminds me so much of her. And if you saw a picture, you would be like, what the hell? That's crazy. But long story short, she has a very welcoming spirit, even if she didn't trade. She's disarming. She doesn't make you feel like, oh shit, she's trying to talk down to me. And she's pleasant to listen to. She refines that a little bit more. She'll be one of those, yeah, she knows exactly what she's doing. She'll be like a Linda Raschke. You don't see a Linda Raschke as like bombastic, like a Patrick Whelan or an ICT or something crazy that's over the top. It's a steady edge of this is what you're going to get from them, and they're consistent. That's what I see in Tanya. She has fun with her audience and does some stuff every now and then. But I see that in her. I have people that are students that are coming up that are really, really well versed in trading. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're trying to be something that they're not. And I'm not going to be the one to tell them that. They'll know for themselves when they start trying to do these things. But when you step out there, once you have the skill, you can get money from live streaming. You don't have to call the trades, just trade. Just trade, let the audience watch, and there it is. Put your disclaimers up in the beginning and periodically throughout the presentation. Remind them that there's real risk and not to copy you, and just do what you do. And people will flock to you. They'll watch you. You don't need to have the comment section open. You don't need to have the chat window open. None of that stuff. If you know what you're doing, people are going to come there. And the money you make from that will help offset the need for your trades to be profitable in the beginning. Even if you're putting yourself out there as I'm trying to discover myself. Dozens of you tried to do that over the last year. Some of you they haven't really found your rhythm yet. Some of you have grown. And you're finding that, hey, wow, this helps me. This helps me pay a little bit of bills around my house. So that means I don't fear losing this account now because I have a little bit of income coming in from this little marginal stream of income that's done by live streaming. And I would be doing this stuff anyway. And that becomes another stream of income. And while you're improving, and then when you get better, people that have watched you come up, figure them like we watched you develop in the public eye. And now look at what you're able to do now. And they have a proverbial blank check then. Anything they tap into is going to make them money. Everybody will want to go and link up with them. They will offer them affiliates. They won't ask for affiliates. It will be offered to them. I turn down advertisements for people broadcasting dumb shit. How much will you let us do for a 60-second ad? How much would you charge for a 30-second ad? How much would you charge for a 15-second ad? How much would you charge us to let us put our company logo just in the corner of your video? I get this shit every week. Every week. I could be making money just like that and never even do anything beyond that. I get requests constantly to go on teaching circuits globally, statewide. I'm not a globetrotter. I'm not going to get on an airplane. All right, so that kills that deal real quick. And two, I don't want to be in that. I don't want to do that. If I wanted to do that, I would do that myself. I would do my own teaching circuits and go around in public and do that. I don't have the personality to do that. I don't have that personality. You think I have that personality because I'm so extroverted in the presentations like this, but personally, side by side, I'm an introvert. You'll see it in October. I'm not like this. I'm not like this at all. And some of you are going to be visually shocked in what I look like physically, because what you think I look like, it ain't like that. Fat boys are here. So I want you to think about how there's absolutely something new under the sun. Every day, you're presented an opportunity proving that very thing. And there's a lot of things around you that are distractions. They're going to tell you this isn't for you. It isn't what it really is. It's a lie. It's a facade. This person's a fake. This person isn't really doing anything. This person doesn't have a verified record. This person doesn't do that. What are you seeing? Cancel all that noise for just a couple seconds and think, what are you witnessing here? Are you seeing something outlined before it happened? Is it sporadic when it comes to fruition, or is it happening consistently? Is it following the logic that these concepts outline? If you're going to be honest, it's the latter. There's nothing fake about this. It's absolutely 100% grade A perfection. No bullshit here. I stripped it down, took you right into the charts this year, said, here it is, boom, 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 boom. How much am I talking in Telegram? It's just here it is, there it is, done. I could always have been doing it that way, but I wanted you to earn it. I want you to work for it. I know that my stuff's the best. I had always known that. I could come out here and make a pamphlet in a PDF format and tell you, do this, do this, do this, don't do this, do this, do this, don't do that, do this, do this, do that. At this time, look for this. If it doesn't do it by this time, don't do anything at all. This is what you do. This is where your stop loss is. This is where your target is, and do this only. And you're quitting your fucking job in 90 days. I can do that. But that same recipe would be on fucking Amazon. It would be in the number one bestsellers list on the New York bestsellers list by other people that don't mention my name. I won't do that. I won't do it. That's why you people that say, hey, you talk too much. This could have been done in 5 minutes. Okay, do it in 5 minutes. You're never learning anything from that. It's demonstrating toys. There was a meme my wife showed me, or not my wife, Caleb was over here last week. He goes, look at this. This Asian lady, she's opening stuff up, showing it real flashed up, and it goes to the next thing. I said, what the fuck is that? Oh, she's getting paid to market these items. I'm like, she's getting paid to do that? The fuck? You need to pay me for looking at this shit. Like I need to get paid to look at this. What the hell is she even doing? How there's nothing I can't even remember what the hell I saw, let alone when I buy it. That's the equivalent of I'm watched every ICT video in existence, so that way you don't have to. And I'm going to show you every ICT concept in 20 minutes. And you leave not knowing shit. They demonstrate hindsight. This is what ICT stuff does. Here, okay. Now, what time is it going to happen? When will it fail? So that way you can focus on when it will work, and when it won't work, you can just sit out and don't look for it. You're not getting that in you're not getting that in a 5-minute training. You're not going to get that in a verbatim, regurgitated, parroted video where it takes away from all the problems that you're going to feel when you're trying to employ these concepts. That's why the presentations like these are long, because I'm taking 3 decades of experience and answering the questions that you want a very simple 1, 2, 3 ABC response to questions that require leaning on experience. I have seen enough times where a fair value gap, even if it's the first weekly fair value gap of the day, it should be going into it. It should be used as something that's bullish, some kind of a discount array, and it fucking doesn't do it. It just goes the other direction. Well, that's manual intervention. I don't know when that's going to happen all the time. That's where I'm going to be a victim, just like you will. But I'm not going to throw everything out the window and say, fuck this. It's all useless now. I take a break. I wait an hour. And then what I do is I look for, does everything get back in line after 60 minutes? And if it's still fucking goofy, then I take another 60 minutes away. And if it leads me into the lunch hours, then I'm going to look for a run against what just took place. I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised. I'm not scared. I'm not worried about them doing something to fuck me up. Okay. I can lose money on a seek and destroy day, but then come back. I teach you, once you recognize it, you stop. And then tape read the rest of the day and see how good it was for you to avoid the further losses. And develop discipline over yourself. Be responsible, because that money, the broker's not going to feel sorry for you and say, you know what? We knew you should have stopped 16 trades ago, but we didn't have it on our heart to tell you. But now we do. 30 trades into the day. You're just going in here, going on tilt, and let's just look. We're going to do a reset, and we're just going to keep the commissions, but we're going to give you all of the realized losses back because you deserve it. You're a nice guy. You've been with us for longer than 60 days. You beat all the statistics right now, so we're rooting for you, buddy. Here, we're going to make it all better for you. It doesn't work like that. And then when you see these prop firms, well, we're going to do a reset. We're going to fix everything. That's not realistic. Just like the rules that they place on you trying to find profitability are realistic. They're not. They're making it more harder than it needs to be. Which means what? You're going to feel even more adversity, more fear, more hardship. More so than it would be if you were just placing your own money, even if it's a small amount of money, into a live account and trade one micro lot. It only costs $30 or thereabouts to do one micro, to have that in your account to do one micro. I'm not saying that that's all you should have, but there's better ways to do this, folks, than these prop firm companies. There's absolutely better ways to do it. And you will be so much better for doing it that way. Don't be afraid or ashamed that you're starting with a shoestring budget. But don't even start with a shoestring budget unless you have done copious amounts of backtesting, tape reading, and then demo trading using the same procedures and logic. It doesn't mean we throw everything out the window because now we're trading with a real account. Yeah, this trade is only supposed to be 25 handles for me because that's my model, but I'm going to go in and trade 3 micro contracts because I can afford to do so, and I want a bigger payout. I want to be able to make more, and so I'm going to try to aim for the entire morning range, not just where it makes sense getting in here and getting out the first pool of liquidity or inefficiency, which is the low-hanging fruit objective I try to teach you. You have to be able to do that consistently. If you can't hit consistently every fucking day, the lowest hanging fruit objective in liquidity, if you can't do that consistently every single day, you have no reason for ever going above one micro lot. And if you didn't pay attention, go back and listen to it again. You should not have any leverage at all unless you're able to absolutely every single day identify the low-hanging fruit objective or the next draw on liquidity. At the opening bell at 9:30, what pool of liquidity is it going to aim for? Which is the reason I spent so much time, that being the number one teaching, knowing where the draw on liquidity is. Where is it going? Why should it get there? And then narrative is, how will it get there? What will it upset and take out before it gets there? It doesn't mean it's going to be straight open, go right up to the target. Do you think it's going to be bullish? You have to have time seeing these things and seeing when it fails in your own hands, and then identifying these markers within your character, your personality, that's going to cause you to go on tilt. I don't give a fuck how many times you watch or listen to Mark Wilson. Why am I doubting that name? Mark Wilson? Is his name Mark Wilson? Trading in his own. Mark Douglas. Who the fuck is Mark Wilson? Somebody's going to tell me, ICT, why are you beating me up? I didn't do anything to you. Sit down, Mr. Wilson, when I'm talking to you. That book doesn't it doesn't scratch the surface. It doesn't even scratch the surface of what you're going to have as a real. Hang on. One of my perimeter alarms are going off. I forgot to turn them off when I came out of the bedroom this morning. Coming around my fucking house, paparazzi motherfuckers. I'm gonna know you're here. Hang on one second. There you go. That's something I would have edited it out if it was on YouTube though. Your journal, your history, your progress, your development. You want to pour every aspect of detailing everything you go through, how you think, how you feel. What were your greatest achievements for today, for this week, for this past month? What do you hope to aspire to reach as a target? What's your goal? And they have to be measurable. Not, I want to make $10,000 this month. That's not enough. How are you trying to make that $10,000? Are you trying to do it with 5 trades a day? Are you trying to do 5 trades per week? It has to be defined and detailed. It can't be willy-nilly, whatever and how it comes. No. That's the same people that tell you, well, when you're trading, your job is not to predict price. Your job is to react to price. No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, Virginia. That's what the reason, number one, all these people fail because they go into it like that. Your job is not to predict price. It's to react to it. If you're always reacting to price, you're chasing price. You're a victim to manipulation. You can't see anything happening before it happens. See, when your trade is accurate and you hold that mentality, what are you attributing its success to? Because the target you reached for, weren't you fucking trying to predict it going there anyway? Do you see the bullshit that comes out of these people's minds? Like, they literally talk out their ass, and none of the stuff that they say makes any bit of fucking sense. You have to react to price, and your job is not predicting price. Then how the fuck are you supposed to know where you're aiming for and manage the risk? You're not going to enter a long position unless you fucking believe it's going to go higher. If you're not doing it that way, what the fuck are you doing? What is that? That's fucking insanity. Yeah, I'm going to try to make money going down. I think it's going to go up there, but I'm going to go short. The fuck is that? That's the equivalent of basically what they're saying. They don't believe in predicting price. And you know what that gives them? And anyone that subscribes to that view, you know what it does? And I'm going to call it, this is all bullshit. All the bullshit stops here. They're making an allowance for them sucking as a fucking trader. They're making a wonderful allowance, a perfect excuse clause for why they can't accurately tell you where the market's going to go. Because if they're a public figure, that's the bar that's been leveled up to. Now you have to be able to call a market. You got to be able to be consistently tell us where it's going, or don't talk to us. Don't talk to me unless you know what the fuck you're talking about. As soon as you start talking about prices random, or our job is to react to price and it's not to predict price, you have already completely lost me. Not because you lost me in the logic and now you're proving superiority. You're proving that you have fucking no idea what you're doing. You have no idea what you're doing if you subscribe to that view. Because when we walk out here and we look at the same price charts, we know exactly what the fuck's going on. There's relative equal lows when the market's long-term bearish. Time of day, wait for the first to the fair value gap, wait for it to trade down through it, come back up. If it respects the upper half, doesn't go back into it, take the first fair value gap on a lower time frame, sub 1 minute. Write it into that pool of liquidity. You have right there, just like that. Just like that. You can write that on the back of a business card. That's your entire fucking model. Never risk more than 1%, and you're quitting your fucking job. If you save money, don't act stupid. You're quitting your job far sooner than anything else. You'll never need to look for anything else that I ever teach on. That's easy. That's always there every fucking day. That's there every day. An everyday model. You see, my forever model. This is my forever model. How about give me my every hour model? This is my every fucking 60-minute model. I just gave it to you. I just gave it to you. First presented fair value gap of the 60-minute. Oh my goodness. You're telling me. Yep. That's why Robbins is nothing. That's why all these motherfuckers are scared to come out here and do anything. They know I can do it. They don't want to suffer the embarrassment of the demo baller showing them up. But they think I'm going to buy into this bullshit and feel like, what am I going to do? Nobody's going to believe me unless I do this. When everything I've ever done gets fucking largely ignored by the same group. So I don't need to listen to this bullshit. I just find it funny that nobody can prove anything better. Nobody can call it better. Nobody can execute better. Nobody can get in and out as good and as consistent. But they all have words to talk about why you shouldn't learn, why you shouldn't be here. You don't see that as the enemy? Like you don't see that? I'm taking nothing from you, nothing, and I have every right to demand it. I don't have to give you my time for free. I could be behind a paywall and saying, you're only going to hear me if you paid for it, or you pay the person that's leaking it for $5. Yeah. But I'm not. Because I'm giving you no excuse. You can't come back to me later on and say, man, you didn't give me a fair chance at this. You hid it from me. No, I didn't. I gave it to the whole public for free. And I find it still fascinating that such a large degree of people still fight it. They ignore it. They say no. And when you sit down with them, they don't show you that they put any real effort into it because they expected it to be a very short video that explains how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Well, listen, everybody knows how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Everybody knows how to do that. But what's different about when your grandmom or your mom made it? Somehow that motherfucker tastes better. It's the same fucking ingredients, the same fucking loaf of bread that you just made yesterday. But you're like, I'm so sick and tired of peanut butter and jelly. What the shit? But let grandmom or your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, let them slap that shit on them 2 pieces of bread. Throw it on a fucking paper plate, and if you're lucky, get a paper towel. And when you're eating that, you're like, what the hell is going on here? What did you do to this? Like, this is fucking remarkable. You did something to this. What did you do? They cared. They cared. Why did my grandma's peanut butter jelly sandwich taste better than mine? Because when she spread the peanut butter and the jelly, she made sure every bit of the surface of the bread was covered. When you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you're making that peanut butter and jelly sandwich because you're fucking hungry and you ain't got time to be making anything else. So what are you doing? You're just taking the knife, slapping it on here, slapping it on there. Who gives a shit? It's enough on there. It'll be part of the bite I take. I'm going to eat it in 4 bites anyway. So what is going on there? She cared about you getting the very best from what she had to work with. That's love. You, you, using the same ingredients, same fucking recipe, nothing's different, same butter knife, same paper plate, same expiration date on the peanut butter and the jelly, which are bullshit. They last longer than that. You slap it on real quick just so you can give yourself immediate gratification. Hunger pains, make them go away. Well, that's what you're expecting of me. You're expecting me to give you a peanut butter jelly sandwich in a trading model like you give yourself every day. Give it to me right now. Give it to me right now. This is how I do things in my world. Yeah. Ass backwards, rushing it, expecting everybody to bow to your fucking whim. But I'm making it like grandma. I'm making it like grandma did. I'm spreading it out perfectly, making sure all the nooks and crannies get the even distribution of the peanut butter and jelly. That's why it tastes good when I'm teaching it. And everybody else is like, listen, man, I came here with high hopes that you're going to try to make it easier and faster, but I'm just not getting it, bro. And you come back and you're leaving comments in my section. I've been trying to other people, man. Right. They're just selling you an engagement. I'm teaching you because the expectation is my children are listening to these conversations and I want them to succeed. You think I'm going to give my kids some bullshit? I'm not going to give them false logic. I'm not going to give them bullshit that ain't going to make money. But even my concepts with the wrong mentality placed around them won't yield the results that they would want. You have to think about things differently. You have to see how our character flaws, our immediate gratification desires, this pursuit of give me what I want and want right now, and it's already 2 weeks late. Whatever it is, whether it be trading profits, success, understanding what to do, our job promotions, recognition among our peers, the girl I've been putting so much effort into, she should have been wanting to go out with me by now, or vice versa. We have unrealistic expectations. And if you try to bring that into trading or your development as a trader, you're going to be frustrated. And that frustration will manifest itself. And the only thing that usually occurs in that regard is that we end up trying to trade more frequently with larger leverage in opportunities that really aren't there because we're seeking comfort outside of a discomfort that we're experiencing. It has nothing to do with trading. That me, because I worked through a long period of that. And I'm thankful the Lord took that away from me. I'm thankful that He took that part that I struggled with away, where I no longer looked to impress people that did not really care. And the last thing they wanted to see was me to succeed. And when I identified that, when I saw that, I no longer cared to pursue everything I was doing as the outcome to prove that point to them. And I realized that my anxiety that I was going through was because I was trying to live up to everybody else's expectation of me. And they didn't give a shit about me. They were all holding me back. And I don't think they all understood that they were doing it, but they were doing it. They didn't want to see me succeed. They didn't want to see me retire at 40. They didn't want to see me drive in exotic cars, go on vacations at the drop of a hat, wherever I wanted to go, and then they look at price tags. They didn't want to see me throw away $600 shoes, $300 shoes because I got dirt on them. Just buy another pair. Just buy another pair. We're talking about 1990s, not just recently. I was spending that kind of money on shoes back then. And my uncle gave me some shit about it. You threw those shoes away just because you got dirt on. You could have got them clean. Yeah, I could have, but it's easier just to just buy another pair. The look on his face, that I'll never forget it. Like, what a fucking waste. You see it as a waste, but to me, it was nothing. It was nothing. That was like one contract stop loss on the S&P. That was nothing. All of you have the ability to be better than me sooner than I was. All of you have that. All of you have that advantage. You all have the luxuries of me explaining how I fucked around and made it longer than it had to be. But you don't want to listen to those lessons. You want to hear, give me the new shiny object you have right now. Give me the new PD array that's better than everything else because I want to talk about that. I want to add that to my mentorship. I want to talk about that in a book I'm trying to write. I want to make posts about that and pretend I know what I'm talking about. I see it in my own community. I don't think I don't see that. I see a lot of pretenders, okay? And I don't like that. I don't like when you say, oh, I got the same trade as you, boss. Unless you show the execution, you didn't have the same trade. So why even say that? Because you want to feel a connection between us. And I'm not going to fake that by giving you a like or a high five because I'm rewarding your bullshit. I'm teaching you to cut the bullshit out. I'm not that special that you have to have a high five from me every day or a reaction from me. Yeah, they went in the other area. I got to turn that one off. You probably can't hear it, but it's a perimeter alarm again. These are the times I wish my house was smaller. It takes a little bit of while. Here. Hold on. Listen to this guy. This guy's full of shit, man. He's so arrogant. But you have an unlimited amount of opportunities once you learn how to do this. You could be an analyst and never take any trades if you prove yourself strong. You can literally be picked up by a real prop firm, a real brokerage firm, a large institutional firm. I've had requests from large firms that you would know very, very easily if I would coach a lot of those individuals that are already there in those positions. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Yeah. They've watched how I handle myself over the years. They see that I don't name drop. And a lot of big names are in my group. You would know them readily, but I don't name drop. There was a privacy notice. I can't tell you who's in there until they make themselves public. Once they make themselves public, they say they're an ICT charter member, then it is what it is. I usually screenshot it and capture the link of wherever they made that reference, and then if I ever talk about them, I have that to fall back on. But I have never violated anybody's privacy at all. I meant it. I wouldn't want it done to me. But you have so many opportunities once you pick this skill up. Let's say you learn how to do this really, really well. And you don't want to be a live streamer, but you're very, very consistent. You can do a signal service. That is the fastest money you have ever seen. That's immediate right now money. That is, I'm broke. I need shit to change real fast right now. And there's an opportunity for me to buy this house. I don't have the funds to meet that. Well, if you have this skill, you can open up shop in 30 days, have six figures falling in your hands real fast, real fucking fast. With this skill, you're not afraid to show it. When you know how to do this in your own hands, you don't need any ICT plugins. No attaboys, no here ICT's told me this, so I'm gonna feel confident. See, that's what you're gonna feel in June. You're gonna feel that void of, man, I don't feel confident. When ICT talks about it, I'm confident. It's like, oh shit, this is no brainer. If you're not in trades that are linked to that draw on liquidity, you're going to feel like, I second guess everything. But then in the last few months, you're part of trades that you feel confident because I've come out publicly and said, this is where the market's going to go. And normal instances where I haven't mentioned it in the public eye, where I think the market's going to go, you may have taken that same trade. But every fluctuation that moves against you feels like it's going to run on you, doesn't it? If you're honest right now, post to me a number one. There's no shame in that. If you've ever felt when I didn't call the market, when I didn't call where the market's going to go, and you got in that trade, you feel every little fluctuation that's moving against you feels like it's probably going to run against me. It's going to be a losing trade, and you overanalyze every individual candlestick. But the ones I've come out publicly, and you're trading in those, you're never worrying about the little drawdowns. You're thinking, oh, well, ICT called that, so now it's just going back down to that order block. That's exactly why I proved to you by being your spotter. That is what you're supposed to do. You self-talk. The only thing that's changed is because I've placed my reputation in front of everybody saying, this is what I believe the market's going to do. And if there were 2 million people following me, and I say that number because all the comments that are left predominantly are people that are not following me. So add up what's following me plus that, I got over 2 million followers. This way of teaching gives you that perspective where you have to self-reflect. You have to encourage yourself. And if you feed yourself with, man, it's going to stop me. Shit, I know it's going to stop me. I should have never moved. I shouldn't have moved my stop. Shouldn't have moved my stop. This is bullshit. They're going to stop me out. And what are you doing? You're not trading your setup. You're not even following order flow anymore. You're preparing yourself for something that may not even happen, which is being stopped out, which is 180 degrees against what I teach, which is while you're in a trade, whether you're tape reading, whether you're demo trading, whether you're using it with a live trade, your task is, where are we at right now on this candlestick? And how does it relate to what has already happened? Is it still following the logic that would present the likelihood of this trade going to where you said it was going to go? If it's going down, where's the short-term low that it could take stops out? And then as soon as it does it quickly run away, or does it spend time below that low if you're long? That's probably more of a reason to get out of the trade or cut some of the trade off. But if it goes down below a short-term low, that doesn't mean shit, except for it's probably a time where we can add to it.